New cars, Dodge, an American Revolution. By Bud Light, the less filling light beer with the first name in taste. And by Holiday Inn Hotels. Holiday Inn is a better place to be.
Welcome to Cleveland Stadium, Cleveland, Ohio. The Browns against the Patriots. Hi, everyone. I'm Todd Donahoe, along with Reggie Rucker. Reggie, we know we're going to see a good defense today because the Browns are ranked #1 in the AFC in defense.
Todd, it should be an exciting contest. The explosive, quick strike quality of the New England Patriots versus the bump and run style of Dixon and Minifield, the Browns cornerback.
Well, the Patriots are quick strike because they've got a quarterback who has definitely arrived in the NFL, Tony Eason.
An emerging young star, Tony Eason, very mobile and very intelligent passer. Here he hits the speedster from Tennessee, Stanley Morgan, just back from a hamstring injury.
On the other side, though, the Browns quarterback, Paul McDonald, sacked 11 times last week against Kansas City.
Paul McDonald, criticized heavily by the implacable Cleveland media, does not recognize very well, has not been given outstanding pass protection by his offensive people nor his offensive backs. Now watch, number 94, Ken McAllister, shows McDonald no respect right there.
He has been criticized because he hasn't been a fiery leader on the field. Does a quarterback have to be a fiery leader?
Well, I played with Plunkett at New England. He was the quiet type. I played with Seif at Cleveland. He was a you get that block kind of a guy. McDonald has not had enough time. We'll have to wait and see.
Weather conditions, it rained this morning, a 90% chance of rain during the afternoon. How does that affect the New England quick strike force?
Well, we'll have to talk about that as we go along, Todd, but more importantly, it affects the place kickers in this ball game. I talked with Tony Franklin, and he said, the field is wet. I'm a barefooted kicker. It gives me problems. On the other hand, there's Sam Rutigliano. On the other hand, Matt Barr says, hey, this is as good as it's going to get here in Cleveland this time of the year. There's Ron Meyer from Westerville, Ohio. That's just outside of Columbus, Todd, down around your territory.
Just down the road from Cleveland a little bit here, so kind of a homecoming for Ron Meyer. And we're ready to play football. Steve Cox will kick it off for the Browns. And deep for the Patriots. In the middle, that's John Williams, number 44. Williams about 4 yards deep, and he'll take it out. And he only brings it back to the 17-yard line. Tackle on the play by Ernest Biner.
There's a flag on the play, Todd.
Illegal use of the hand, so that will back the Patriots up even more. And there you see their quarterback, Tony Eason, coming out.
Illegal block in the back, number 54 during the run back. Half the distance to the goal line on the 7, first down.
The Patriots offensive back, Eason, with the big week last week. Mosi Tatupu in place of Tony Collins, and then the quick strike men, Stephen Starring, Stanley Morgan. And that big offensive line anchored by John Hanna. First and 10, ball at the 7. Up the middle, grinding it out about 5 yards. Clay Matthews on the tackle, along with Eddie Johnson. It'll be a pickup of about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Let's take a look at that Browns defense, #1 in the AFC. The defensive front, Bob Golick in the middle. The linebackers, well, just about as good as you can get.
None better.
And the defensive backs, you mentioned Frank Minifield and Hanford Dixon, a couple of guys who can play the bump and run on the corner. Eason's back to pass. Starring over his head.
Stephen Starring, number 81. Very talented young receiver from McNeese State. 4'3" in the 40. Very acrobatic type of player.
We talked about those defensive backs for the Cleveland Browns. Again, Reggie, you like the corners. Minifield and Dixon.
Minifield and Dixon play bump and run. They go with you wherever you go. If you go to the men's restroom, they'll probably go there with you.
And Don Rogers, the #1 draft choice, keep your eyes on him. He's 2nd on the team in tackles. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. And Eason overshoots Irving Pryor, and that will bring up a punting situation.
Irving Fryar, #1 pick in the draft. Outstanding speed from Nebraska. It's a game-breaking type of player. Here's number 80 coming in motion. There's Dixon blitzing behind Fryar. He's wide open. No one takes Fryar. Eason throws the ball a little bit hurriedly, and that's due to the Browns' pressure up front.
So it's 4th down, 5 yards to go. Dwight Walker is deep for the Browns. Luke Prestridge, the punter.
Prestridge has never had a punt blocked. He gets rid of it very quickly.
Walker fair catches the ball at the 50-yard line. And that's where the Cleveland Browns will put the ball in play. 38-yard punt for Prestridge. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Cleveland Browns and the National Football League is prohibited, and right away, the Boo Birds are out for Paul McDonald.
Well, you haven't arrived in this league as a quarterback unless someone boos you.
That's Boyce Green. And Boyce Green running hard for about 6 yards. Kenneth Sims on the tackle. Paul McDonald sacked 11 times last week by the Chiefs. There's your offensive backfield and receivers for the Browns. Again, a one-back offense. Boyce Green. Ozzie Newsome, of course, the wide receiver to watch, and the offensive line that has to do the job to protect Paul McDonald. And McDonald is back to pass. He's got a little bit of protection, and there's Ozzie Newsome.
That's what the Browns will be trying to do today to keep the pressure off of McDonald. Run the ball inside and then throw the short, quick passes. There it is, Paul McDonald. Watch his eyes. Let's see if he's reading what's happening. Yes, he is. He sees everything very clearly, gets rid of the ball quickly. That's what you have to do to move the football consistently.
It's a 1st down for the Browns. 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line. Boyce Green, left side, and Boyce Green running hard to the 35-yard line. Don Blackman and Larry McGrew in on the tackle.
Boyce Green is playing in place of the injured. We take a look at the Patriots defensive line. Ken Sims, #1 pick in the draft a few years ago.
And then their linebackers aren't too many steps behind the Browns, if any at all.
The Patriots consider their linebackers the strength of the ball club.
Watch Andre Tippett and also watch Ronnie Lippett, because they just might pick on Lippett.
Ray Claiborne, All-Pro a year ago. Lippett has been receiving most of the action.
2nd and 7. McDonald to Newsome, flags on the play. Newsome tackled at the 30-yard line. Roland James on the coverage.
The Browns, first off, are doing a nice job of protecting McDonald, but apparently they're using some rather devious means to get the job done.
Like using your hands.
Here's Newsome running what he does best, the option route. There it is, right there. Good catch. Brace for the hit. All for naught.
Holding on the Browns, and that'll back them up to the 46-yard line.
I was just getting ready to mention, or I mentioned earlier, Todd, that Mike Pruitt is out of today's ball game. He has a full calf muscle. Boyce Green will receive the action.
Two-back offense now. Ernest Piner in the backfield with Boyce Green. McDonald has time. Gets the ball out to Dwight Walker. Is it an incomplete pass or a fumble? Ronnie Lippett on the coverage.
Dwight Walker played last week after missing 4 weeks after being involved in an automobile accident. Good hands, catches the ball right there. Now put it away and protect the ball. There's the stripping action by Claiborne, All-Pro.
And it was a fumble and recovered by the Browns.
Walker dropped a couple of passes a week ago and fumbled another, so he is still a bit rusty, Todd.
3rd and 16. And the only back in the backfield is is Dwight Walker, a wide receiver, so obviously anticipate pass to the Browns, and that's what McDonald's doing. And overshoots Walker, and another flag on the play.
47% of his passes completed. Paul has a 48 ranking.
Offense, holding, penalty refused, fourth down.
Doug Deacon holding. It's refused, and it's a fourth down situation and a punting situation.
We mentioned the rating by McDonald, 48.4, which is last in the American Football Conference, but it's not entirely his fault. Everyone is involved. The offensive line, the backs, and the receivers.
Steve Cox will punt for the Browns, and deep for the Patriots, Irving Fryer. High punt. Fryer will fair catch it at the 11-yard line. So a 35-yard punt for Steve Cox. And the Patriots will put the ball in play at their own 11-yard line when we come back. Tampa Bay.
22 yards. He's 44 yards behind Jim Brown's record.
Eason hands the ball up the middle to Moshe Tutupu. Gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Reggie, let's talk about the one-back offense now. Both teams more or less using a one-back offense today.
The one-back offense, I talked to Ron Meyer before the ball game, and he said, look, I can get 4 speed people right at the proximity of the line of scrimmage, get them into the secondary quickly. It gives me more pressure on the defense vertically and horizontally.
Moshe Tutupu, that lone back. Easton passes the ball complete to Derek Ramsey. First down for the Patriots.
And the other part of that one-back attack is that I get this guy, number 88, Derek Ramsey, into the ball game. An outstanding talent, 6'5", 240 pounds, can run, can catch. When you have a guy like Derek Ramsey and a Lynn Dawson who plays tight end, you want to get that talent into the ball game.
First down for the Patriots, 25-yard line. That's Ramsey in motion, and that's Tutupu up the middle, a gain of 3. Tackle by Eddie Johnson.
Todd, we should mention that the all-pro running back, Tony Collins, is not starting. That's because Moshe Tutupu runs very well tackle to tackle. Meyer says, look, Collins has been dancing in the hole. He's not giving me the productivity. I don't care if he is an all-pro. I want somebody who's doing it for me right now.
Well, in the one-back offense, too, is it easier for that back to hit up the middle and pass to the outside?
It's easier if you've got Hannah and Holloway blocking in front of you.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Easton has time, complete again to Derek Ramsey, and another first down for the Patriots. Cousineau on the tackle.
Well, that's what Ramsey does so well. He picks the spot. Take a look at it from behind the offense. You'll see the very big offensive line of the New England Patriots. They average 280 pounds. No one is near Tony Eason. He can pick and choose, and he chooses Ramsey.
First and 10, Patriots. That's Tutupu for about 3 or 4. Eddie Johnson again in on the tackle along with Al Gross.
If you're going to defeat this outstanding defensive talent of the Cleveland Browns, you're going to need outstanding play in your offensive line. Hannah, some call the greatest offensive lineman who's ever played the game. Holloway, 6'7", 285 pounds. Tremendous thrust in their offensive line.
Second down, 6 yards to go for the Patriots. Easton the pass again, the blitz is on, and Tutupu drops the football. Chip Banks on the coverage. And Walter Payton and the Chicago Bears, thanks to a Bob Thomas 48-yard field goal, 3-0 over the Saints. How about disadvantages of that one-back offense? Anyone who's ever played high school football, when you read run, you've got 1 of 2 backs who was going to carry the football. This way, there's no guesswork. You know who's going to get the football.
Well, and in the passing game, too, Todd, you have problems scanning, looking for blitzes, picking up people. You have to protect your quarterback.
Third down, 6 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Eason gets rid of it. Watch the flag. Here's the flag. Ball was intended for Fryer.
I thought they'd call it, Todd, because there was some contact made. Let's listen for Gene Bart.
Interference, defense, number 20, first down.
Don Rogers coming over the top.
Rogers, the number 1 draft choice from UCLA. The intimidator, the big guy in the middle. There he is in the middle of your screen. Looking for Fryer. Fryer here's foot depth, doesn't catch the ball, and Rogers catches Fryer.
And so another first down for the New England Patriots, and they are in Cleveland Browns territory at the 47-yard line, 1st and 10.
If you're Don Rogers, you want to make that play right there because you want Fryer to know that you're there the rest of the ball game.
They're going deep to Starring. Overthrow. Frank Minifield, again, 1 for 1.
That's what we call progression expression, Todd.
All right. How about the Rutgers Dictionary? Let's bring it out. Progression expression.
Yeah, Minifield, who has great speed, matched one-on-one with Stephen Starring, and it's just a fake of an inside route, which Starring had been running, and now he goes deep off of that pattern. That's the progression expression we talk about.
A series of plays setting up a play.
Exactly.
Tony Collins now in the backfield for New England, and that is Collins' left side. And he lunges ahead for a couple of yards. And for Dixon on the tackle.
That's why Starring lost his position. Dancing in the hole. You don't need that. Get into the hole. Get the positive yardage. Get upfield. They have so much explosiveness in their offense. They don't need people running around in the backfield. They need straight up the field running.
7 minutes to go in the first quarter as Ron Meyer looks on. Scoreless in Cleveland between the Browns and the Patriots. Third down, 7 yards to go. 5 defensive backs in the game for the Browns. The ball is caught by Fryer. And it's a first down for the Patriots. Bob Golick putting on a lot of pressure on Eason that time, but Tony got rid of the football.
Golick did have a lot of pressure on Eason, but that's the trademark of Eason. He gets rid of the ball very quickly.
Denver leading Detroit. Sammy Winder, a 1-yard touchdown run for the Broncos. Nick Lowry, a 31-yard field goal. Kansas City on top of the Jets. Washington leading Indianapolis. Joe Theismann, Art Monk, 10-yard touchdown pass. Mosi Tatupu back in the football game. For the Patriots, as Tatupu gets the ball right side, can't turn the corner. No gain. Don Rogers at the tackle.
Come out, come out.
We'll call it a gain of about 1.
When you run outside against the Cleveland Browns, you're asking for trouble. The Browns linebackers, they're none better in football. This is what they do best. They run down people. Look at Banks, 56. Cousineau, 50, making the tackle. You can't run outside on the Cleveland Browns.
Tatupu now 5 carries for 19 yards. Second down and a long 8 to go. And that's Tatupu. And for Dixon coming up to make the tackle.
Mosi Tatupu, he has become a folk hero in New England. He's got a legion of fans called Mosi Mooses. How do you like that? Mosi's Mooses.
I like Moses Mooses, but I think New England better come up with a nickname for that offensive line of theirs, too. They got some big guys up there, 6'4 and a half.
Where's the beef?
280, that's what they average. If Washington's got the Hogs, the Patriots certainly can't be far behind with the Hogettes, maybe.
Talented quintet.
Of course, the Browns defense known as the Dogs, so it's 3rd and 4 on the 27-yard line. And we've got to reverse. That's Irving Fryer, and Fryer will not get the first down. Bob Golick on the tackle. say the football was down, I believe. Yes, they will.
Once again, we just finished telling you that you can't run outside on the Cleveland Browns. They have outstanding pursuit to the ball. There's Fryer, who's known for his great speed. Golick, 270 pounds, tackles in the backfield.
And now here comes Tony Franklin in to attempt a 45-yard field goal. And you said that Tony Franklin doesn't like the footing.
He doesn't. He says, if the ground is wet, I have problems slipping.
He doesn't slip. He's got the distance. And it's there. A 45-yard field goal by Tony Franklin puts the Patriots on top 3-0. 4 minutes, 1 second to go here in the first quarter in Cleveland. Franklin's longest field goal of the season, 45 yards.
That type of kick will give him great confidence the rest of the afternoon, even though the conditions may get wet as we go along.
Ernest Biner and Bruce Davis deep for the Browns. And that football is going to stay in bounds, and Ernest Biner tackled at the 5-yard line, and a disastrous way to start a drive for the Browns. And we'll be back after this and see what the Browns can do with the football.
You're a kick runner in the National Football League. Field everything in front of you. This is a mistake. Do not let that ball bounce. Catch the ball. If you're a kick runner, you want to run the football anyway. Catch the ball and get some positive yardage.
So now Paul McDonald and the Browns are in a deep hole, 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line. 95 yards to go. And Boyce Green's feet are in the end zone. Malone back for the Browns. Now we're going to have a flag on that play, I do believe. Either that or somebody got off with a quick start on that left side of the Cleveland Browns line. Larry McGrew in on the tackle. Let's go to New York City now. NFL 84 update. And here in Cleveland, New England leads the Browns 3-0. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Pass complete to Ozzie Newsome, out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Check that, 26-yard line.
I want to show you what the talent of Paul McDonald can do if given the opportunity to throw. Now, they protect for him very well, and he throws. When he can throw, he's as accurate as anybody playing football. Look at that throw to Ozzie Newsome. Newsome gets 2 feet in bounds. Big play for the Cleveland Browns.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Browns as they get out of that hole from their 5-yard line. That was a big play. Now Paul McDonald and company has some operating room. Boyce Green got nowhere to go. Don Blackman, number 55, just standing in his way. Larry McGrew also went on that pile.
The Patriots are a swarming, hard-hitting, fast-pursuing defensive outfit. They get a lot of recognition because of their offensive explosiveness, but you have to give Dick Steinberg a lot of credit, who is their director of player personnel. Denver 14-0 over Detroit in the first quarter.
Yeah, Sammy Winder, a touchdown run. Rulon Jones with a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Buffalo leads Philadelphia 7-0. Maybe the Bills will make it win number 1 on the season. McDonald back to pass again on 2nd and 10. Ozzie Newsome again on the catch. He'll pick up about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down, 5 yards to go.
Even though this is a predominantly passing football team, it's a conservative approach because the Browns want to protect Paul McDonald. So they're utilizing the short, quick pass and the inside running ability of Boyce Green.
3rd down, 5 yards to go for the Browns. They need to pick this one up to keep the drive alive.
Look for Newsome.
Going deep to Darrell Harris.
In all the years that Brian Sight played around the defensive back and is in the seam. That takes an outstanding throwing arm to make that type of play.
A 34-yard pickup for Duriel Harris and the Cleveland Browns. And Paul McDonald's looking pretty good to this point. This has got to be a real confidence booster for him. 11 sacks last week. McDonald wants to pass again. He's got Harris again. And Duriel scampers for the first down.
Well, Paul McDonald to Duriel Harris has the fans here at Cleveland Stadium cheering about something exciting for a change. Watch him now. He's getting ready to go back to his old habits, but no, he gets rid of the ball to Duriel Harris, and Harris, who was maligned for dropping a touchdown pass a week ago, has now made 2 big plays in a row.
Paul McDonald now 6 of 7 for 75 yards. That's improvement over last week against Kansas City. That's Boyce Green, left side of the 20-yard line, and now we're going to be in that new side as we're at the end of the first quarter.
That's a portion of the field, Todd, that I used to hate getting into. The sod is soft and soggy, and it's very difficult to gain any kind of traction. New England 3, Cleveland nothing.
For the second quarter, now the Browns are going to be starting to come into some loose turf where the warning track normally is for baseball setup. They've got loose turf down there. What kind of cleats do you use?
Well, this is the cleat that you'd use ordinarily on a dry track. Now, this is the cleat that you'd use on a field such as this one today, where the sod is loose and you may get some rain. It's considerably longer, and it helps grip better. There you see the fellas repairing the sod down there, and you need the long cleats today.
And again, when we move in closer to around the 5-yard line, you'll see the strip of grass that is covering what is normally the warning track when the Indians play baseball here. Second down, 8 yards to go. Look out, Paul McDonald. He scrambles, gets the ball to Tim Straka. Straka to the 6.
Tim Straka just recently activated because Harry Hope, the other tight end, is out with an injury. Makes a big play here, but the key to that play was McDonald's elusiveness. He said 1 week ago, hey, I can't become mobile in a week. Well, apparently he did.
What a turnaround for Paul McDonald. A disastrous week last week against Kansas City. This week he's 7 for 8 so far, and he's got the Browns moving. And don't forget, this drive started at their own 5-yard line.
My, oh my.
Boyce Green to about the 5-yard line. Steve Nelson in on the tackle.
The Cleveland attack, once it gets down into the scoring territory, down inside the 10, has had problems scoring via the run because their offensive line personnel are basically pass blockers, Todd. They do not run block as well as they would like to. So I think if they're going to get into the end zone here, it will be through some type of short pass.
And as you can see, the Patriots aren't exactly easy to run against. Getting down close to the goal line. Boyce Green on the draw, gets inside the 5 to the 2. It'll be third down and 2 yards for a touchdown.
They might miss Mike Pruitt in this area. Pruitt, who is 230 pounds and is a bull of a runner inside the 5-yard line, will not play today because of an injury, and Boyce Green, who is a lighter running back, will have some trouble moving these big people down in this area.
Speaking of injuries, Miami at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh quarterback Woodley out with a slight concussion. Malone is now at quarterback for the Steelers. That's an important game that both the Patriots and the Browns will be watching this afternoon. And we'll watch it for you. Flag down, Duriel Harris, touchdown. Let's see what the flag is about. Illegal procedure against the Browns.
Illegal motion number 66. He was not set in time.
That's Ted Peterson.
Ted Peterson, acquired on waivers from the Pittsburgh Steelers. On the left side of your screen, sets the illegal procedure. Here's Durio Harris, in some measure atoning for the touchdown catch that he missed a week ago. Too bad, Durio. You'll have to do it again.
Third down, 7 yards to go for a Browns touchdown. Paul McDonald to Straka, incomplete. He rifled it in there.
Incomplete is not the word. Did he ever drop a fine pass from Paul McDonald? Look at it from behind the offense once again. McDonald reading as he drops, sets up excellently. Watch the throw. Beautiful, tight spiral right in the hands of Tim Straka.
I think it got there a little too quick for Straka. He wasn't ready for the football. Whatever the case, it will bring on Matt Barr for a 25-yard field goal attempt. And we have a tie football game. So with 12:37 to go in the second quarter, tied up in Cleveland. Along with Reggie Rucker in Cleveland, tie ball game 3-3. We'll also be keeping our eyes on Miami and Pittsburgh. If Miami loses and New England wins, the Patriots are just a game out of first place. On the fighter this time. John Williams catching the football 5 yards deep in the end zone. He'll leave it there. The Patriots will take over 1st and 10 at their 20 when we come back.
Brought to you by Today's Chevrolet. See today's Chevy. Drive today's Chevy. Live today's Chevy. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by U.S. Postal Service. Discover stamp collecting. Discover the America you may never get to see.
Todd Donahoe along with Reggie Rucker. Cleveland Stadium. Tie ball game. 3-3 between the Patriots and the Browns, and the Patriots 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Eason is back. Chip Banks and Reggie Camp coming in to make the sack.
Camp, the Browns' best defensive end, is hurt on the play, but on your left side of the screen, watch number 56, Chip Banks, All-Pro 2 years in a row. All over Tony Eason along with Reggie Camp. There's the collision between Banks and Camp. Camp is hurt.
Well, he picked himself up and dusts himself off. He's still in the ball game. It'll be 2nd down, 17 yards to go. 9th sack of the season. Registered by the Browns. And look out again. Reggie Camp again.
One of the problems with the one-back offense is that you do not have excellent pickup schemes. With only one back in the backfield, you have one less back to protect your quarterback and to pick up blitzes. Watch it now. There's the stunt inside by Pazzulli, number 72. Number 56, Banks on the outside. Camp, 96, makes the tackle. And the Browns are all over Tony Eason, and the crowd is going wild.
They love defense in Cleveland. Ron Meyer doesn't like what he sees. 2 sacks in a row. Draw to the Tupu. And Mosley gets to the 6 or 7-yard line.
Making the play along with Eddie Johnson. That's the problem with Tupu. There was a lot of room to run on the outside that Tony Collins perhaps could have made something out of, but Tupu does not have the great speed. Here it is. It's a draw play. They're trying to take advantage of the hard rush by the Browns. You can see running room to the outside, but Tupu does not have the speed to get there.
It brings up 4th down and punting situation.
The Browns in this situation are going to try to block the kick. They've got all of their regular
opportunity to return it to the 32-yard line, and the Browns have excellent field position. A 40-yard punt, a 14-yard return, and the Browns are in business at the 32-yard line. 3-3 the score here in Cleveland. First and 10. The Browns have the football and special teams there.
Special teams, the most critical part of the game as we go to New York for an update.
And here in Cleveland, Boyd Street goes left side for a couple of yards. Larry McGrew on the tackle.
The point I was trying to make before we broke, Todd, is that special teams is such an integral part of football. It allows the offensive team to start in good field positions if you have an excellent kick runner. Now, Dwight Walker is that type of player, and the Browns have been missing him. Secondly, Sam Rutigliano wants to run the ball inside. He wants the short drop passing game, and he wants to reduce the length of the game so that he can win with his defense.
Second down, 9 yards to go for the Browns at the 31-yard line. Paul McDonald under pressure gets rid of the football. That's complete. Duriel Harris again.
I'd like to see this play once again because
He's being overruled.
Duriel Harris does a magical job along the sidelines there.
The receiver caught the ball after going out of bounds. The ruling is incompleted forward pass.
Okay, I think he is in bounds when he makes the catch, but they say he had already run out of bounds prior to the catch. To take a look at it, right there on your sidelines, you don't see it, but he did get his feet in time, but he had already stepped out of bounds prior to the catch, which makes him an ineligible receiver.
The back judge, Jimmy Rosser, making the call. Third down, 9 yards to go. The ball goes off the fingers of Walker, and he almost comes back to get it.
What are you going to do about that? The Browns have had several occasions to make big plays, and once again, as they did last week, they have dropped passes of Paul McDonald. Right here, plenty of room to run. Dwight Walker lets the ball go through his hands. Now watch, he makes an attempt. Right there, dives. Oh, no, I can't get it. Just falls incomplete.
So that'll bring on Matt Barr, who will attempt a 48-yard field goal. He's got it. Plenty of distance for Matt Barr, a 48-yard field goal. As the Browns take a 6-3 lead, we've got some pushing and shoving going on the field.
Matt Barr, who ran earlier in the season, has now gone on to become exactly what he is. A very accurate and imperturbable player in the clutch. We'll be back.
Stadium, the Browns lead it 6-3 over the Patriots. Other scores from around the NFL: Chicago leads New Orleans 6-0. Miami, Pittsburgh scoreless. Denver over Detroit 14-7. Dallas has come back to tie St. Louis. Kansas City leading the Jets 6-0. And Washington and Indianapolis 7-7. Minnesota leads Tampa Bay. And Buffalo looking for its first win of the season against Philadelphia, tied 7-7.
That Indianapolis team is a favorite of our producer, Ron Kershaw. He loves that running attack.
John Williams again wisely downs the kick of Steve Cox, 5 yards deep into the end zone. And we've got more pushing and shoving and flags on the play.
It's simply uncalled for what's going on now on the football field. Biner, number 44 of the Cleveland Browns, was involved in a meaningless pushing match that grew worse as the players began to hit each other. You cannot indulge yourself in that type of activity when you have a game that means as much as this one does to the team.
Face mask is going into the ground. 10-yard penalty. Half the distance to the 20.
Excuse me, not Ernest Biner, but number 50. You can't see that the goalpost is in the way there. Ernest Biner is the recipient of the
Tupu for 2 yards. Eddie Johnson coming in to make the tackle. Keith Baldwin also there.
Stanley Morgan, number 86, and Hanford Dixon, number 29, involved in some pushing and shoving. Dixon playing the bump and run style, head up on Stanley Morgan. It is frustrating the New England speedsters. They cannot implement the kind of game plan that they want to run because the Browns cornerbacks are playing the New England receivers very tightly.
Dixon is rooting on the crowd. You can see him right in the face. Tupu, the ball carrier, for the 25. It'll be third down and 5 yards to go. Cousineau in on the tackle.
Intimidation going on all over the place. Here's Dixon running with Starring, and he pushes Starring in the face. And that type of thing right there can really frustrate a receiver, particularly if he is not getting the football.
Hanford Dixon, every time he comes back out, he cheers on the crowd, says, "Let's go, crowd. Let's get us up."
Dixon is having fun. Number 29, lower part of your screen.
Right on Stanley Morgan, right in his face. Eason's got nowhere to throw. He'll run it. First down. And then the hook slide.
Tony Eason. What a brilliant young player Tony Eason is. Very mobile. He has what I call escapability. All receivers are covered. Now, here is the one valuable asset when done at the proper time can be a godsend. Watch Eason run for the first down, and that brings New England out of a big hole.
A 19-yard gain for Tony Eason. First and 10, ball at the 34. Tupu is Tupu. Can't get his hands on the football the second time because Eddie Johnson wouldn't let him.
In Cleveland, they call the defense the dog. And the dogs are barking right now. New England receivers are looking for Browns tacklers all over the field, and they are not concentrating on catching the football.
When you say they're barking at each other, they are literally barking. I mean, they do bark at each other out there.
They bark and they go roof, roof. And watch Johnson, 51, right in the middle of your screen. Hit the Tupu right in the back. You can't catch the football with that kind of hit.
I'd like to see the Redskins and the Browns get together. The Hogs against the Dogs. Second down, 10 yards to go. Complete. Derek Ramsey over the middle. Hanford Dixon on the coverage. But it will be a gain of about 7 yards, and it will be third and a long 3. Let's call it 4.
Now, the Patriots were moving the ball splendidly earlier on in the football game when they were utilizing Derek Ramsey on the short pattern. They've gone away from Ramsey because the Browns have blitzed and gotten a lot of pressure on Eason. If they want to continue to move the football, they will have to look for Ramsey.
Ramsey, 3 catches, 27 yards. Third down, 4 yards to go. Tupu left side. He won't get the first down. Fumble. And there goes Hanford Dixon. Did they blow it dead? Yes, they did. He said his forward motion was stopped.
Well, Todd, I played for both of these football teams. I had some great years in New England and great years here in Cleveland. But I think, and I'm not biased, I don't think in any sense of the word, but that's a poor call by the officials right now. That is a fumble, and that ball should have been in play.
Well, Mocha Tupu, his knee never touched, his arm never touched. Apparently, the officials are saying that his forward motion was stopped.
Tupu on the right side, number 30. Gets hit right there. Ball is out of his grasp, and that is a fumble.
So a break for the Patriots. And we've got a flag down at around the 25-yard line. about 30 yards away from the play.
The 30-second clock has expired.
Delay a game, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Well, usually you don't see that flag 30 yards down the field.
Here's the play once again to Tufo on the right side of your screen. Number 30. Plowing inside. Right there, 47. Brazil hits him, and the ball comes loose. I think it should have been an allowable play.
Well, if there was a whistle, it was a quick whistle. Dwight Walker, and he'll be down at the 29-yard line. Tim Golden on the tackle. A 38-yard punt, a 4-yard return. And the Browns will put the ball in play. 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line when we come back.
That last call, Gene Boss, the referee here, is the finest official in the National Football League. He is the top-rated official in the business. He did the Super Bowl last year, so even the good ones can miss one.
Well, if you're a Cleveland fan, you're saying we were robbed. If you're a New England Patriots fan, you're saying it was a good call. Whatever the case, 1st and 10, 30-yard line. Browns have the ball. Turiel Harris in motion. They give us to Boyce Green left side, and Boyce Green has got about 6 yards. Larry McGrew on the tackle.
Here's Boyce Green, who's been recovering from 2 bad ankles. Replacing the injured Mike Pruitt, gets outstanding blocking on the left side from Stracker, Deacon, and Robert Jackson.
And number 66, Ted Peterson, out there leading the way, too. So good line action from the Browns.
Can you believe a former Pittsburgh Steeler is wearing the orange and brown of the Cleveland Browns?
2nd down, 3 yards to go. Green again up the middle. 1st down, Browns. Miami leading Pittsburgh. That's one that we will keep our eyes on. Here in Cleveland and Kansas City, it leads the Jets 9-0. When we say we'll keep our eye on that game, of course, if Miami loses, New England wins. The Patriots are a game out of 1st place.
That's Ron Meyer standing next to the yard marker with the headset on.
And if the Steelers lose and Cleveland wins, the Browns are just a game out of 1st place. And for the 3rd time in a row, Boyce Green gets the call but goes nowhere. He is collared by Steve Nelson.
You get a chance to see the offensive strategy of Sam Rutigliano, particularly in this series. The progression expression of the Cleveland Browns. They have a 6-3 lead. They have a very tentative quarterback who's had a lot of sackings in the past. Now they want to control the football. They want to run tackle to tackle, reduce the time on the clock, allow their defense to control the football game.
2nd down, 10 yards to go. Ernest Miner now in the backfield, along with Boyce Green for the Browns. McDonald under pressure. He gets the ball off. Brian Brennan. Brian Brennan, broken hand and all.
And you people in New England will recognize number 86 playing with a cast on his right hand. He's Brian Brennan from Boston College. And don't get that confused with Boston University. Okay, so but number 86 played with the Heisman Trophy candidate from Boston College, Doug Flutie, comes up with an extraordinary play and a very big one right now. You see the cast on his right hand as he runs down the sideline. Big play for Brian Brennan.
Watch the pressure that McDonald had all around him.
Improvement from over a week. It doesn't take very long to recognize that you have to get rid of the football in this league.
A 34-yard pass from McDonald to Brennan. Boyce Green up the middle. He'll gain about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
WVIT Channel 30, New Britain, Hartford, Waterbury, New Haven.
Todd Donahoe along with Reggie Rucker. 6-3, the Browns lead it. Here in Cleveland. Second down, 7 yards to go. McDonald looking for Duriel Harris. He's got it. Ray Claiborne on the coverage.
A tremendous throw by Paul McDonald. This pass cannot be described in any other fashion, Todd. I have not seen a quarterback in Cleveland throw any type of pattern like this. Top of your screen, number 84, Duriel Harris runs off Claiborne. Now he comes back. This is a 35-yard pattern to throw. I don't know what the total distance is, 24 yards, but you have to throw a pass like that about 35, 40 yards for a 24-yard gain.
And that's the 2-minute warning here in the first half. 2 minutes to play. And the Browns are driving. Cleveland leads at 6-3. What is the difference between Paul McDonald last week and this week?
The offensive plan that he has to work with. They recognize now that, hey, we've got a guy who has extraordinary talent throwing the football, but we have to protect him. That's Sam Rutigliano talking to him, and McDonald gets the Browns off to a 6-3 start and first down on the 8-yard line.
Fans last week is the hero so far this week.
Well, I did the ball game last week in Kansas City, and in 1 week, Paul McDonald has gone into a telephone booth, Todd, and came out Superman.
Took off his uniform from last week, says, burn this, baby. I'm coming out in a new one next Sunday. First and goal on the 8. That's Boyce Green. Green will lose a yard, maybe 2. And again, there's some pushing and shoving going on. Kenneth Sims protecting Boyce Green. I think Boyce wanted a piece of somebody down there, and big number 77 says, hey, come on, back on off.
That play made by John Blackman, number 55, one of the outstanding linebackers in that New England Patriots linebacking corps. They really missed Clayton White, Todd, on injured reserve. Outstanding linebacker, Larry McGrew filling in for Weissoon.
And now timeout for Paul McDonald. Well, they let the clock tick about 30 seconds, 1:15 to go now in the first half before he decided to take the timeout. So 1:15 to go. Browns lead at 6-3, but they are driving. The Patriots 6-3. Other scores, Kansas City leading the Jets 9-3 in the second quarter. Washington has taken the lead over Indianapolis. And Buffalo looking for its first win of the season over Philadelphia. Second down, 10 yards to go for a touchdown for the Browns. NFL 84 coming up at halftime. Bob Costas, Ahmad Rashad, Pete Axtell, who took Cleveland in the 2 points today. That's looking like a good pick. And we've got flags on the play. Just kills you. A false start down at the 10-yard line kills the Browns.
Not as devastating a penalty right now in this particular area of the field, Todd, because as you know, the closer you get in towards the goal line, the more difficult it is to throw the football. Actually now the Browns have 15 yards worth of real estate left along with 10 yards of end zone, so they can implement their entire offensive passing series from here.
Yeah, but I don't think Sam Rutigliano likes penalties down around the goal line. Here's Paul McDonald to Ozzie Newsome. A pickup. Only a couple of yards, though. Roland James right there. And now another flag and some more pushing and shoving. You know, there is a revenge factor in this game. The Browns beat the Patriots 30-0 last year.
Good point, Todd. And I'm sure that the Patriots are remembering that.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness defense. Half the distance and a first down.
But on the other hand, you can take that too far, as happened here. You don't want to commit this type of penalty at this particular time in the ball game. This will give the Browns a first down, half the distance to the goal line, and there are players out there right now that are losing their composure.
1:08 to go, first half. Brown, first and goal from the 5.
And that's the kind of call I like to see officials make, just like that one that Gene Martin made. Not that whipping call that they make when they say, personal foul against this guy, personal foul against that guy, offsetting. Make the players respect your authority on the football field. Lippett is the best tackling defensive back on the New England Patriots roster, and you're going to get a chance to see it right now. Boy, screen. Here's inside, back outside. Number 30. Here's Lippett, number 42. Head down, pitch it, perfect tackle. Gets Boyce Green in the backfield, drops him for a loss.
50 seconds to go in the first half. The Browns have taken their second timeout. They've got one left. Sam Rutigliano trying to figure out how can we get the ball in the end zone. We were down here once before. We couldn't punch it in. We're down here again, and we can't punch it in.
Well, in this area of the football field, I'm thinking one thing, Todd. I'm not thinking plays. I'm thinking players. So I want to go to Ozzie Newsome. I want to get the ball to number 82. The best tight end in the business as far as I'm concerned. He will make the clutch catch for you.
And again, you saw the guys working on that loose side down there where the warning track normally is. When the Indians are playing baseball and the Browns play football, they put that side in there. It's only been there for a little bit. 50 seconds to go in the first half. 6-3. Cleveland leads it. And we're in Cleveland. 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Browns knocking at the door. Second down, 10 yards to go for a touchdown. They lead it 6-3. For the Browns to get into the end zone this year. 57 points is all Cleveland has scored. That's the lowest figure in the NFL. McDonald and Duriel Harris falls down in the end zone. It'll be third down and 10 yards to go.
Now the end zone area traditionally in Cleveland is very hard. The grass is cut very short, so that when you've had some moisture on the field, it's slick. I did not check Duriel Harris's cleats, but I'm sure that I can't be sure he's wearing the long cleats because he made a slipping move there that looked like he may have been wearing short cleats.
Third and 10. If the Browns want to score, they have to do it here. Or they'll bring in Matt Barr for the field goal. And nobody's there. And the crowd will boo Paul McDonald, who has done just about everything right today.
He was looking for Ozzie Newsome on the option. He was looking for Newsome on the option. And Ozzie decides to break outside. But watch Duriel Harris here get jammed at the line of scrimmage and takes away any kind of option that McDonald might have. So you can see right there, it's not always McDonald's fault.
And Matt Barr comes in for another field goal attempt. This one from 27 yards out. And it's good. So, 3 Matt Barr field goals. As the Browns on top, 9-3 with 38 seconds to go in the first half. With Reggie Rucker, the Browns lead it 9-3, and Cleveland continues to have problems putting the ball in the end zone.
Well, both of these offensive teams are coached by former Raider assistants. Lou Herber for New England and Joe Scannella for Cleveland. They are both having the same kinds of problems.
Boy, Steve Cox has been putting the ball in the end zone consistently in this game. All John Williams can do is watch that ball bounce into the stands. And New England will put the ball in play at the 20-yard line with 38 seconds to go in the first half.
To expound just a bit on those offensive.
The ball thrown a little bit behind him on the hip pocket, but you still have to catch. You have to catch that football.
That's right.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball in the 38. Will New England try to put it into at least field goal position? They won't now. Bob Golick in on the tackle. So another sack for the Browns, their third of the game.
Bob Golick could not make it as a linebacker for the New England Patriots. Came here as a nose guard and has done an outstanding job for the Cleveland Browns.
Timeout on the field. 14 seconds to go in the first half now. Timeout called by New England.
Well, if I were in New England right now, 14 seconds left in the half. It's a 9-3 ball game. Cleveland up on top. There's no panic. I've got an entire half to play this ball game. Everything is up for grabs right now. Do not do anything that will hurt your chances of winning. That means throwing the ball unnecessarily.
Hey, the World Series opens Tuesday night here on NBC Sports with Vin Scully and Joe Garagiola bringing you the action. The pregame. Derek Ramsey again. He has been the #1 receiver for Tony Eason this afternoon. Clay Matthews on the tackle. Timeout again for New England. 6 seconds to go in the half. Well, can you get down one play and get into field goal position in 6 seconds?
Well, with the kind of speed that New England can put on the field, if they utilize their 3 wide receiver set and run the alley-oop pass down either sideline, there's a chance for a miraculous play of some kind. Once again, the big offensive line of New England. Still, the Browns are getting pressure. You saw number 96, Camp, run by Eason. That's Derek Ramsey, number 88, big fellow from Kentucky. Used to be a quarterback.
Boy, I hate to have to tackle that quarterback. He's a load to tackle.
They're the people that make life miserable for Tony Eason. Number 96, Camp, 78, Harrison, 79, Golick, and 94, Elvis Frank.
And then that group of linebackers. And it's 4th down. Now New England will bring in Luke Prestridge. So a timeout to decide to punt. 5 seconds to play. Why do you call timeout? Let the ball run out.
I might look for a trick play here, Doc.
No, I don't know why you would call timeout with 6 seconds to play to punt the football. 32 is the now you risk the chance of block punt if that's the case. You will punt it. And it was almost blocked by Clay Matthews. And time has expired here in the first half. So that's the end of the first half. And the score, well, the Browns lead it 9-3. What can you say for the first half on this one, Reggie?
Well, it's a game that's been dominated by the transition defense of both teams. The linebackers on both clubs have played a very dominant role. There's been good pressure on the quarterback. The receivers have been dropping passes. The skilled people look a little bit tentative.
That's the end of the first half. The score is 9-3. Browns. Donahoe along with Reggie Rucker, 9-3. The Browns lead it, and I would say the Browns are outplaying the Patriots, especially when you consider they had a touchdown taken back, the Duriel Harris touchdown taken back because of a procedure penalty, and then Hanford Dixon had a fumble recovery touchdown taken back because of a questionable call on an early whistle.
There's a look at the stats, and Sam Masigliano says, my best athletes are on defense. Look at the yards passing. The Patriots, 31 yards passing. This is one of the more explosive football teams in all of football, and yet the Browns have held them to 31 yards through the air.
And you talk about the yards passing. Of course, last week it was Tony Eason with 354 yards passing, 31 in the first half. And it was Paul McDonald with a horrible day, being sacked 11 times. And this week, 141 yards passing.
Maybe there's something to that old axiom that good defense stops good offense, no matter what sport. You believe that, Tom?
Well, the good defense the Browns have been playing in this first half includes 3 sacks. And that's been a key.
But don't forget, the New England Patriots, you look at Paul McDonald, number 16, the New England Patriots can strike at any minute. They can score from 90 yards out, 80 yards, whatever, and they could take the lead in this game immediately. There's Tony Eason.
That's your quick strike guy right there. Don't forget, the Browns had 2 chances inside the 10-yard line to put the ball in the end zone and could not, had to settle for field goals. Look at it this way. 1 long touchdown for the quick strike New England Patriots, and they lead the game 10-9. Getting ready for the second half kickoff here in Cleveland. 9-3. Browns lead the Patriots. The Browns will receive the second half kickoff.
That's Bruce Davis, the lightning fast wide receiver kick runner from Baylor. And Tony Franklin, number 1. You know, Ron Meyer said, one of my objectives is to have a better kicking game. And they feel that Tony Franklin is the answer to that improved kicking in '84.
And don't forget, Patriot fans, Rich Camarillo on the injured reserve list, the all-pro punter. Luke Prestridge taking his spot right now, but I think you could probably say that Prestridge will be history when Camarillo comes back off the injured reserve list.
No question about it. They expect Camarillo to be ready about the 9th or 10th week of the season. And when you speak of Prestridge or someone like that filling in for Camarillo, you recognize how important it is to have quality depth on a football team.
17.1 yards per average kickoff return. That's not very good. You want plus 20.
That's right.
And the second half is underway. Ernest Biner at the 10. And Ernest Biner will go over that 20-yard return mark. He'll return the ball 21 yards to the 31-yard line. Tackled by Ed Williams. And we'll come back with the Browns putting the ball in play after this.
Today's game is brought to you by Mercury, cars that have kept up with the times as much as you have. By the National Guard and the Reserves, where you can serve your country while you live at home. And by NCR, who bring you a better personal computer.
Todd Donahoe along with Reggie Rucker. Second half just now beginning. Cleveland leads New England 9-3. The Browns have the ball first and 10, 31-yard line. Uriel Harris in motion. And Boyce Green has been a workhorse today. No gain. Ken Sims on the tackle.
I have not mentioned the name of Ken Sims often today, but Sims much improved over a year ago. Sims is playing like the #1 draft choice that they expected him to be when they drafted him out of Texas, the very first player picked in the draft. Had a big sack a week ago, was awarded a game ball.
Look at that stat right there.
Well, the one thing that Sam Tigliano said is, I need a plus turnover ratio for the game. The Browns had that in the first half. They did not give the ball away the first half. Ronnie Lippett was pushing off around about the 35, 36-yard line.
They're saying Ronnie Lippett held up Ozzie Newsome.
Well, there have been a lot of defensive backs who've done it. Number 42, right side, right there. Lippett pushes off on Newsome. He can't hit him anymore. Now he hits him again. That's illegal. You can't do that. Lippett, number 42, is the player that most offensive units go after. They stay away from Ray Claiborne because he's simply an outstanding defender. But they will pick on Lippett.
So it's first and 10 for the Browns. Harrison motion to the near side. Play action. Over the middle, that's Uriel Harris. He'll be shy of a first down. Steve Nelson finally making the tackle after Harris hit the ground.
That's good strategy for the Browns. In the absence of any kind of effective running game, all the Browns are doing here on first down is just gaining enough quality yardage to put McDonald in a second and favorable position. Good catch by Durio Harris. Now watch him get up and try to get some extra yardage. So you can play football when you've got 2nd and 1 and 2nd and 2.
And it is 2nd down, 2 yards to go. Ball on the 44. That's Boyce Green, and Boyce will not make the first down. Andre Tippett in on the tackle. It will be 3rd and 2.
The Patriots are giving Brown grudgingly. Those linebackers of theirs are living up to their billing. They are excellent at stopping the run. They have stuffed up the holes all day long. Talking about some very good people inside. Number 57, Steve Nelson, has been there forever. Outstanding. Larry McGrew filling in for Weissoon. Blackman and Tippett on the outside are very good players.
And we understand Walter Payton has done it. He's broken the record on a 6-yard run. He's broken Jim Brown's all-time rushing record. Pass complete to Ernest Biner. And a first down.
Ernest believes the transition that he's made in the course of a week.
And this game has to do wonders for his confidence. 1st and 10 Browns. Tippett blitzing. Finally the first sack of the day for the Patriots. Toby Williams.
Okay, it's a play-action fake now. They're faking in there to number 30, Boyce Green. He's looking now downfield, but he cannot find the receiver, and now he's running around. What he should do is throw it away. He should get rid of the football and not take that sack.
So a loss of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd down, 15 yards to go for the Browns.
Partigliano said the one thing McDonald is doing that I don't like is he's trying to make a big play out of nothing. Take what you got, come back and do it on 2nd down.
2nd and 15, overthrows Ozzie Newsome. Larry McGrew on the coverage, and I think that ball just skipped through Larry McGrew's hands. And we're starting to get a few sprinkles out there on the field now. 90% chance of rain was the forecast at game time, but right now the rain's 100%. Just a little sprinkle, though.
That always makes a pass receiver a little hesitant. See the umbrellas up here at Cleveland Stadium? The receivers become hesitant and tentative when it rains because their fingers get slick. The grass is slick. The ball is easy to slip through the hands.
3rd and 15. Flag on the play. McDonald can't get away this time. Andre Tippett. Number 56, but there was lots of pressure from lots of people.
Ron Meyer not pleased with that call because they sat McDonald. Here's a look at it from behind the offense. The double teams are working effectively. McDonald can't find anyone due to the outstanding coverage. And, oh, what a big hit right there by Andre Tippett, the outside linebacker coming in on McDonald. And McDonald has felt a lot of that this year, Todd.
So it's now 3rd and 10 instead of 4th and 20. So a big play.
Going to get this play off.
No, they won't. They have to call a timeout.
Now, I'm not big on calling timeouts in this type of situation. You have to know exactly where you are on the football field because I think timeouts are so very critical and so very important that you never call them. Now, apparently McDonald felt that he had to have this timeout because with 3rd and 10 in a crucial situation, they need the yardage.
The Browns lead the Patriots 3rd down and a long 9 to go for a first down.
Let's see if the Patriots go to their nickel defense, which they switch Sims from the right to the left. They bring Tippett into the left end. And Rick Stanford comes in as the 5th defensive back.
comes Tippett on the rush. McDonald gets rid of it. Complete to Ricky Feature. First down, Browns.
Ricky Feature is playing with a separated shoulder. But that's the kind of play you expect from a veteran wide receiver. Now watch it. Feature knows he's going to get upended here. Yet, he gives himself up to make the catch. Watch. Up in the air, protects the ball. Boom, right underneath. Boy, does that hurt, particularly when you've got a separated shoulder.
And the man he was picking on, Ronnie Lippin, drove down the field, came back to the football, 15-yard gain. Browns first down. Ernest Biner now, the lone back for the Browns. He gets the football. A pickup of about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Ernest Biner, number 44. Very stockily built running back. 215 pounds on about a 5'10 frame. Look at those thighs.
It's big around in some people's waist. Well, Walter Payton's got a set of thighs on him, too. And his thighs have now run for more yardage than any other man to play in the NFL. Biner again. And Ernest goes to the 22-yard line. Ken Sims on the tackle. Again, the Browns have had 2 chances inside the 10-yard line to score. They haven't been able to get in the end zone.
Let's see if there's any intimidation going. Look at that. Don't take that, Brennan. Go after him. Yes, he does. He stays right with him. He's not going to be pushed around in the National Football League. If you don't hold your ground now, they'll take advantage of you later.
On that play right there, it was hard to tell who's offense and who's defense. It's
right.
One-on-one battling.
See, we receivers do get involved in the heavy stuff, too, see?
Flag on the play, 3rd and 3. Lots of time. Dumps the ball to Biner. He won't get first down yardage. Now let's see what the flag's about. Gene Barth. For the 2nd time on this drive, offside against the Patriots, and that'll be a first down.
And Todd, whenever you have a 3rd and less than 5, you are never offsides defensively. That's a cardinal sin. You cannot just give the opposing team a first down.
Ron Meyer just has to be shaking his head. His team, which looked so good last week against the Jets, just can't put it together today against the Browns.
Well, I think the defense of the Cleveland Browns, the Dogs as they're called, have a lot to do with that ineptitude.
McDonald to pass again on first down. Going to the end zone. Overthrown. Timeout now. NFL 84. And what's happening with Walter Payton? All right. Thank you, Bob Costas. Here in Cleveland, Browns lead the Patriots 9-3. Once again, the Browns are knocking on the door, but they haven't been able to walk through that door. 3 Matt Barr field goals is their offense. A Tony Franklin field goal is the Patriots' offense.
Look for Ozzie Newsome.
No, Duriel Harris, touchdown. And no flags on the play.
Let's watch Duriel Harris working on the best they have to offer. Ray Claiborne. Claiborne gets shielded by his own man right there. And Duriel Harris, who had a lot of trouble holding on to the football 1 week ago, is a hero today.
Matt Barr will try to make it 16-3. And he does. So with 9:14 to go in the 3rd quarter, the Browns boost their lead. They now lead it 16-3. Duriel Harris, 5 catches, 88 yards, 1 touchdown, a 16-yard touchdown catch from Paul McDonald. It's 16-3. Browns lead the Patriots. And again, a kick deep into the end zone. John Williams running it out. Is got some daylight out to the 26-yard line. Timeout on the field, 16-3. Cleveland leads New England, 9:04 to play in the third quarter. Meyer and the Patriot offense want to accomplish.
Well, they have a great comeback attack. They were down 23-0 to Seattle, then scored 38 unanswered points.
Up the middle, Mosi Tatupu for about 3 yards. And that's not very explosive.
Well, the important thing to remember, Todd, right now is not to panic. Ron Meyer knows that. You may have to get away from your horizontal attack somewhat. That means the short passes across the field that he's been throwing to Ramsey and so forth, and you may want to get a little bit more towards your vertical passing game, going down the field to Morgan or Fryer or Starring. That's what he's trying to do, but he will have to pick his spots to get through those players.
Well, he's got the speed for Starring and Fryer and Stanley Morgan, but we haven't seen any long passes today for the Patriots. Maybe here. Nope, dumps it off over the middle to Derek Ramsey again, and first down for the Patriots. Lawrence Johnson on the tackle.
Well, any football team that can come back on Seattle and score 38 unanswered has to be a dangerous team to watch, because the Browns, if you'll recall, lost 33-0 to the same Seattle ball club. Here's Eason looking deep, but he can't find anyone. Ramsey eludes Lawrence Johnson, number 48, to make a big play.
For the most part, Easton to Ramsey has been the extent of the offense today for the Patriots. Again, Tatupu up the middle. Fazuli in on the tackle. But why isn't Ron Meyer putting the ball down the field? Patriot fans have to be watching right now and saying, last week we were bombing it away to Stanley Morgan.
Well, Todd, it's 16-3. There's half a quarter to go yet in the third period. There's no need for panic. They have to execute their game plan. They will pick their spots for Morgan or Starry, believe me.
But in your progression, expression offense, doesn't the long pass loosen things up? And we're going long here.
He drops the ball.
Stephen Starring dropping the football. Frank Minifield, the quarterback, and look at him taunt Stephen Starring right there. Had a few words with Starring.
Well, this guy is a tough little cookie, number 31, Minifield. There's Dixon and Minifield doing the high five. I told you, they will go deep. There's Starring, 4-3 in the 40. Outruns Minifield right there. He's got the ball, and he drops it. And watch the taunting that goes on. You think this is an intimidating game?
Look at Minifield's not finished with Starring. He said a few words, then he went back to him and said, take that. Third down. 8 yards to go. Over the middle to Ramsey again, and that's been open all day long.
What a luxury to have. Derek Ramsey, 6'5", 240 pounds, acquired from the LA Raiders for tight end Don Hasselback. Ramsey has been magnificent. He is really the reason why the Patriots went to the one-back offense.
Hope you'll stay with us for the second half of our football doubleheader. Some of you will see Franco Harris and the Seahawks battle the world champion Raiders, while others will see the Chargers take on the Packers or the Oilers play the Bengals. Coming up next on NBC Sports, and Derek Ramsey, 6 catches, 67 yards. Look out! To Ethan, wide open Starring. If he can catch it, it's a touchdown, and it is.
Rod, what did I tell you? You have to have patience. These people are a quick strike, big play offense. You can never go to sleep with this football team on the field.
Well, just when I said, why aren't the Patriots bombing it downfield, Ron Meyer bombs it downfield.
The play action, play, it's all it is. Tatupu faked into the line, gives it back to Eason. Now, while this is going on, Minifield is sucked into the line of scrimmage, and Starring is catching a cold. He's so all alone.
He didn't drop that one. So it's 16-9, and Tony Franklin will try to make it 16-10, but again, he is right in the middle of that new loose side. it, though. So the Patriots come back in a hurry. 16-10. 6:04 left to go in the third period. Browns lead it.
Somewhat pensive Sam Rutigliano now. The quick striking ability of the New England Patriots has shown itself.
Coming up next on our doubleheader, Seattle versus the Raiders. Some of you will see that one. Some of you will see the Packers and the Chargers and the Oilers at Cincinnati. Doubleheader day today on NBC Sports. Tony Franklin with a short kick. That's Viner. Viner brings the ball out to the 33-yard line. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
WVIT Channel 30, New Britain, Hartford, Waterbury, New Haven.
Todd Donahoe along with Reggie Rucker.
Even though the New England Patriots had that quick strike ability and that awesome explosiveness, Ron Meyer would like a more consistent ball control type of offense. You can believe that or not, John.
Ernest Viner, the lone running back. Play action. McDonald over the middle to Duriel Harris off his fingertips. It'll be second down and 10 yards to go.
Paul McDonald gets his signals from Joe Daniels, who stands on the sidelines wearing a yellow windbreaker. The yellow windbreaker is worn so that McDonald can kick him out of the crowd easily.
McDonald has time, dumps it off to Viner. Viner brought down by Larry McGrew. Scores from around the NFL. The Bears and Walter Payton winning. Miami big over Pittsburgh. Denver over Detroit in the third quarter. St. Louis now over Dallas by 4 in the third quarter. Kansas City has blown a 9-0 lead. They trail 17-9. Washington putting it to the Colts in the Hoosier Dome. Meanwhile, here in Cleveland, 16-10, the Browns lead the Patriots.
In this situation, the Browns usually will look for Dwight Walker out of the backfield.
Situation, 3rd and 7. And who is that? Dwight Walker. Well, thanks for calling the play for us, Reggie.
30-yard play to Dwight Walker. Multi-talented wide receiver, halfback. Just finds an opening in the defense. Right there, right up the middle. Now look for space to run. Get all you can get, Dwight. Ran down by Rick Sanford from behind. You know, Walker still has not gotten into shape. He's been absent 4 or 5 weeks. He hasn't had that recuperative ability that you need.
After that 30-yard run, he could be sucking a little wind right now. 1st and 10, ball on the 40. That's Viner. For 2, maybe 3 yards up the middle. The running game so far for the Browns today has been 3 yards in a cloud of turf.
There's a tie ball game going on at Tampa Bay.
Buffalo looking for its first win, but Philadelphia says not today.
Well, they're not running to win, Todd. Our score right here at Cleveland Stadium, the Browns 16, New England 10.
They're running to what? Set up the pass?
That's right. They're running just to keep the defensive ends from pushing upfield on every play.
Harris in motion. McDonald rolling out to Duriel Harris in the end zone. Well, there was some pushing and shoving, but no flag. Ronnie Lippett on the coverage. Ronnie and Duriel were in each other's face.
All right, now, when you go in motion as a receiver, it is very difficult, really, to get a good push on the cornerback. You see, 42. Lippett is already behind Dario Harris. He can't catch up to him, so he can't outrun him. There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on down there. If you can't get it, don't let the other guy.
So it's third down and 7 yards to go, and the last time the Browns were faced with this, White Walker was called upon and made a 30-yard gain. McDonald back to pass. He's going to Dario Harris. First down, flag on the play.
The flag is going to be against the New England Patriots for holding. Lippett was holding Ozzie Newsome. Well, and that's one I will be wrong on, Todd. I want to get another look at this because Ronnie Lippett and hog-tied Ozzie Newsome.
Number 82.
All right, let's take a look at it. Here's McDonald. You can see right there on the right side of your screen, Lippett holding on to Newsome. And what a marvelously timed pattern to Dario Harris will be brought back.
Well, I think the officials are going to say that Ozzie Newsome pushed off on Lippett.
Well, you get it that way sometimes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. One of the very good orchestrators of that move is Kellen Winslow. A lot of these big tight ends use their body a lot to push off, and that time they caught Ozzie Newsome.
You see the passing yard for McDonald. Browns rush for 39 yards. Third and a bunch, and where's the football? New England recovers. Ronnie Lippett.
You see why you can't celebrate, Todd, when you have a 16-3 lead against a very explosive and talented football team like the New England Patriots. 3 minutes ago, the game looked like it was hanging, well, in favor of the Cleveland Browns. The Browns were dominant. Now, suddenly, the Browns are holding a precarious 6-point lead, and that explosive offense of the Patriots is back on the field. McDonald, ball tipped away. Babb can't get it. The Patriots recover.
And the Patriots have the football first and 10 at the 47-yard line. Patupu into the Browns territory. The World Series opens Tuesday night here on NBC Sports with Vin Scully and Joe Garagiola bringing you the action. The pregame show hosted by Bob Costas begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The Cubs or the Padres?
For the world.
Oh, no. Patupu again. He gets to the 46-yard line. Bob Golick on the tackle.
Now the concern has to shift to Sam Rutigliano. Now does this big offensive line of the New England Patriots with Holloway and Hanna on the left side, Brock the center, Wooten and Haley to tackle. Do they now start to dominate and control this football game for the Patriots? We'll have to see.
Third and a long two for the Patriots. Patupu, first down. Don Rogers riding Patupu all over his back, but not until Mosley picks up the first down.
Critical call, run play for the New England Patriots. Where do you run? Of course, you run across John Hanna and Brian Holloway.
And Mosley Patupu today, 15 carries for 69 yards.
Coming right at us behind Holloway and Hanna. They move everyone off to the right side of your screen, and Patupu picks up the tough yardage inside.
The Patriots drive still alive. Starring. First down. Frank Minifield on the cover, but Stephen Starring with a first down.
Outstanding play call that time by Tony Eason. Eason came to the line of scrimmage. Noticed that both Minifield and Dixon were playing back off the line of scrimmage. Check to a quick pass. Got it to Starring. Starring picked up a first down. There it is, the quick pass. See, Minifield nowhere in sight. Not a tight bump and run.
This time, Minifield lines about 10 yards off Starring. Flags everywhere.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
Lynn Dawson coming across in the neutral zone. First down, 15 yards to go now. Ball on the 29-yard line. Easton swings it to Suzuki. And Mosey's inside the 20-yard line.
Eddie Johnson on the tackle of Tatupu, but Tatupu is really showing his mettle in this series, getting the tough yardage from tackle to tackle. He takes a lot of hits hard, and he continues to run. One thing I've noticed about Tatupu is that he's never going backwards. He is always running straight ahead. Here's Tony Collins, number 33, my old number, watching from the sideline. Probably looking at his job either way.
Most of Tatupu has looked pretty good today in place of Tony Collins. Look out. Clay Matthews.
Fourth sack of the day by the Cleveland Browns. Here's the underpublicized one. Number 57, Clay Matthews, extremely talented linebacker who does not get the recognition that Langston Cousineau gets. He is an outstanding player.
And that will be the last play of the third quarter.
From Southern California, Matthews on one side and Banks on the other.
The bookends, both Southern California.
That's right.
Chip Banks, Clay Matthews. At the end of the third quarter, the score is 16-10. Browns lead it. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Today's game is brought to you by National Car Rentals. When you rent a car for business or pleasure, you deserve national attention. By Holiday Inn Hotels. Holiday Inn is a better place to be. And by GTE, advancing technology in telecommunications and electrical products.
We begin the fourth quarter here in Cleveland. Todd Donahoe along with Reggie Rucker, 16-10. The Browns lead it, but the Patriots are driving. Third down, 12 yards to go. Ball on the 26. Starring to the 2. Big play for the Patriots.
They are trying their best to intimidate Stephen Starring, who picks up 24 yards on the pass play. There it is. Eason under some pressure here, steps up into the pocket. Outstanding move by Eason. Now watch Starring come from your left, number 81. Almost gets into the end zone. 3 receptions, 78 yards for the brilliant speedster from McNeese State.
Tony Collins, touchdown. Well, he's watched Mosey Tatupu most of the day take his job, but when they needed a touchdown, they went to Tony Collins.
Well, Collins has the ability to create things in that area of the field. Tatupu is usually a straight-ahead power runner. Collins really used his gift and his ability at that time to find his way into the end zone. Once again, there's Tatupu, lead blocking for Collins. Nice block inside. Jumps back inside of the block there and scores.
First rushing touchdown of the year allowed by the Cleveland Browns defense. That's how tough they've been against the run, but not today against Tony Collins and the Patriots. And this Tony Franklin extra point puts the Patriots on top 17-16 with 14:10 to play in the fourth quarter. The Patriots lead it 17-16. 24-yard pass from Eason to Starring to the 2-yard line that set up Tony Collins' touchdown. And gave New England a 1-point lead, and we've got a hot one with 14:10 to play. And that's Ernest Biner from the 8-yard line. And Biner is still on his feet. Spiner makes it to the 35-yard line. Well, let's see what the flag's about. And that will set the Browns back.
Tony Franklin is one of those.
Illegal block in the back, number 37 during the run back. 10-yard penalty.
Tampa Bay has taken a 7-point lead over Minnesota in the third quarter. And here in Cleveland, New England, 17-16. 13:58 to play. Here on NBC Sports with Vin Scully and Joe Garagiola bringing you the action. The pregame show hosted by Bob Costas beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And a little trivia, Reggie. Do you realize that no one under the age of 40 has ever seen the Chicago Cubs play in October in the World Series?
Fantastic.
1945, the last time the Cubs were there. Will they make it this year? That's Ernest Spiner. Don Blackman on the tackle. It will be second down and 8 yards to go.
Right now, the difference in this football game has been the offensive line of the New England Patriots. They have become totally dominant. They have given Eason both time to pass. They have created the routes to run through for the runners. And they have come to the forefront of this football game because they are one of the premier groups in the league.
Especially in the second half. Second down, 8 to go. McDonald, look out, fumble. Browns get it back. Joe DeLamalore falling on the loose ball. Steve Nelson almost took that ball right out of Paul McDonald's hand.
A near disastrous turn of events. McDonald making the quick pass. Steve Nelson pausing the fumble right there, and Joe DeLamalore, number 64, saves the day.
So now it's 3rd and 8. And the Browns, who have looked so good in this game up until now, appear to be struggling. Another sack and flags on the play. As McDonald is down at the 5. Andre Tippett coming in to put the pressure on McDonald.
64 offense, holding, penalty refused, 4th down.
The sack will hold up for Andre Tippett.
Joe DeLamalore, watch it on the left side of your screen, number 64, right there on 56 is where Joe D is holding Tippett and keeping him away from Paul McDonald.
For about a second longer because Tippett wound up getting there.
Good work by our producer and director and our camera crew.
Yes. Irving Fryer now deep for the Patriots. High punt by Steve Cox. Woo, look at that one. At the 44-yard line, Fryer has nowhere to go. And he gets to the outside. Don Rogers says no.
And there's a fight going on once again. Cousineau and an unidentified player. This is a very, very frustrating football game for both sides. The game has been marked by intimidating threats and taunting going on. Gene Barth and his crew has had a difficult, tough job keeping control of this football game.
Cousineau in on the fight, I believe, with Brian Ingram. Again, it's a grudge match. 30-0 last year. The Browns took the Patriots apart, and it's a close one today. 17-16, Patriots ahead. 12:08 to play.
I think they're going to start with some ejections if they don't control this thing better.
But offsetting fouls, illegal use of the hands on 51 White, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 50 on the Brown team. Penalties offset from the dead ball spot.
Well, once you get involved with an intimidating, taunting kind of football game, which upper hand because you can look awfully foolish if you happen to be giving up unnecessary yardage or making penalties.
Here on NBC Sports NFL doubleheader, a couple of 4-1 teams, the Seahawks against the Raiders. Some of you will see San Diego and Green Bay. Others will see 0-5 Houston at 0-5 Cincinnati, and something's got to give in that one.
Good ball game, Seattle and the Raiders. Should be an outstanding contest.
First and 10, Patriots on the 42-yard line. That's the Tupu. Minifield. Cousineau in on the tackle.
We get a look at this play. You can see the Browns linebackers reaching and grabbing for the football. They know they need a turnover here. The Tupu is doing a fine job of protecting that football. Watch it now. There's the Tupu coming behind Hannah and Holloway, 73 and 76. Look at Minifield, go for the ball. Cousineau reaching in for that ball. The Tupu holding on.
Minifield, you talk about aggressive today. The only time he was burned was on that little flea flicker. Here's Eason. To Lynn Dawson. And his first catch of the day. Chip Banks defending.
There they are, the two bookends. Ramsey, 88 from Kentucky, and Dawson, number 87, the tight end. I don't think there's a better tandem in doing what they do, which is blocking and catching the football. There's Eason coming right at you. There's Dawson right there. See how he catches the ball right in his hands. He's sure of the catch.
And the tight ends are important in the one-back offense.
Extremely important.
St. Louis putting it to Dallas. The Jets lead Kansas City by 1, and here it's third down and 2 yards to go. And we've got a timeout for New England. Timeout on the field, 11:22 to play. Patriots, 1-point lead over the Browns. We've got a good one here in Cleveland. The Patriots lead the Browns 17-16. And at this point, it's safe to say that New England will not gain any ground on Miami, and the Browns can gain some ground on the Steelers. Third down, 2 yards to go. Everybody's up on the line of scrimmage. First down, Patriots, Lindoff. Chip Banks was there. Everybody up on the line of scrimmage. Fakes into the line. Get it to Lindoff.
Well, the Patriots had two backs in the backfield, so the Browns had to be prepared for a lead blocker on the ball carrier, and therefore they did not pay as much attention to Dawson as they should have. And he's 6'5", and he's a very easy target to see. There it is. Just tossed it over the line of scrimmage to the big guy, number 87, Lindoff, fourth year.
Mosi Tupu for a yard, maybe 2. Cousineau again on the tackle. A busy day for Tom.
You think the New England Patriots aren't thinking players, top flight players? Because you watch it now. They're going on the left side invariably. They're going right to John Hannah, number 73, right to Brian Holloway, number 76. The two best offensive linemen on one side in pro football.
Holloway goes about 290. Hannah goes about 285. And when you run behind them, you're going to gain 72 yards like Mosi Tupu. Tony Collins on the sidelines there. Maybe he'll get the ball for another 2-yard touchdown run. Chip Banks on the blitz, but Eason gets away, but he can't get away from Reggie Cash. Fifth sack of the day for the Browns.
There's Eason being flushed out of the pocket by the thrust of Banks, 56 right there. When you're running around like this, all kinds of things are happening. You can't really pick up anybody. That's what happens to you. You get banged down right there. Reggie Cash.
A big play for the Browns that brings up third down and 12 to go. Ball on the 47-yard line.
Browns are in their nickel defensive alignment.
Drop late to Tupu. situation.
Excuse me, Todd. Good idea to run the ball in that situation because the Browns only had 3 linemen and 1 linebacker. All the other people in the ball game were coverage people. That's why the Patriots decided to run.
White Walker is deep for the Browns. Luke Pressbridge will punt. And no doubt, from the 39-yard line, he'll be angling for one of the corners.
The Browns have their, for the most part, their first line of defense in there. They're going for the block.
And also watching for a possible fake. No fake to the Coffin corner. And you talk about downing a football.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what the Patriots just did. Big play for the Patriots. Paul Dombrowski down there to down the football.
That's as fine a play as I have ever seen on a kick-covered team.
Paul Dombrowski was down there like a wide receiver intending to catch the football.
Well, wait a minute. There's some conjecture here as to where the ball is going to be spotted. Now, the kick coverer actually looks like he's the punt receiver. He stops the ball right there. They may call, I know what they're going to call, Todd, interfering with the ability of the return team to catch the football.
Well, I don't know about that because White Walker was just going to let that ball go in the end zone or out of bounds. And then Dombrowski comes in to touch the football. So a break for the Browns. They've got the ball 1st and 10 on the 20 instead of 1st and 10 inside the 5.
Big break, I say.
White Walker looked like he didn't want a piece of that football. He didn't even want to catch it. Dombrowski just trying to down the ball inside the 5. Here's McDonald. Sanusi. First down. And then some.
Well, they don't call that man right there the Wizard of Oz for nothing. I played some years with Ozzie Newsome, and he is a man that hardly ever lets you down. Makes the big catch right there. Now, watch him get the extra yardage. Heading for the sideline, picks up the extra yardage, gets out of bounds. He can do it all.
And as a matter of fact, he only needs about 65 more yards in pass receptions to pass up Reggie Rucker to become the 4th leading Browns receiver yardage-wise. There's Duriel Harris. And Harris has had a day. And the Browns are in Patriots territory. Ray Claiborne, the defender.
An outstanding pass pattern run by Duriel Harris. And you can see that Harris and McDonald have really timed up their passing attack since last week. Duriel Harris has great cut. The ball is there. Here's Brian Brennan on the other side. Duriel Harris is running the same pattern on the other side.
Draw play. Ernest Biner. Nowhere. Doug Rogers in there on the tackle, number 65. Third-year man out of Stanford. 7 minutes, 15 seconds to go in this game. 2nd down.
Right now, the Patriots are not getting much of a pass rush, but they are resisting the temptation to blitz their linebackers because they don't want to leave their cornerback one-on-one at this point in the game, particularly since they only have a 1-point lead.
2nd down, 11 yards to go. Brennan in motion. Pass complete. Ozzie Newsome again.
Watch that 82 right there on the left side of your screen. He's only running option routes. Look, he looks back inside now. He'll go back outside because that's where the open area is. And you can't be any more accurate than McDonald is right there.
Brown's all-time leader when it comes to number of catches. And again, he's about 58 yards away from moving into 4th place ahead of Reggie Rucker. And number of yards receiving through the air. Well, Doug Rogers got a good start. Number 65. Let's see if he was pulled offside. Third down, 4 yards to go. Again, third and less than 5. You don't want to be offside if you're on defense.
But McDonald is using that staggered cadence. And I pointed this out before. And I'll tell you exactly how it goes after this.
Encroachment, number 65 defense. He made contact before the snap. The 5-yard penalty, and it's a first down.
Okay, McDonald is using the staggered cadence. The ordinary cadence sounds like this. Hut, hut, hut. Now, when you want to bring the defensive team offside, you go to the staggered cadence, which is like this. Hut, hut, hut. And it's really non-rhythmic, and you can bring people off the ball, and you can gain an easy first down, just as McDonald did there.
Look at the numbers on Paul McDonald. We were talking before the game today. It seems like the number 2 quarterback is always the most popular player on the team with the fans. When Paul McDonald was number 2 to Sipe, everyone wanted to see McDonald. Now that he's number 1, he's getting bad press, bad fan reaction. But today he's having a game. Ernest Piner, the ball carrier, and another flag on the play.
We're going to get a flag, and the flag will be on Brian Brennan. The one thing you have to remember in Cleveland Stadium, it gets very noisy here. So sometimes you cannot hear the quarterback. And if you're a man in motion, what we would do when I played with Sipe is that we would just wait until you saw peripherally that the offensive line had fired out, because you don't want to be offside.
Illegal motion, number 56, going forward at the snap. Still first down.
And that's what it was. 6 minutes, 1 second to go.
You think this place is noisy now? If you've ever heard noise, come to Cleveland Stadium when you've got 80,000 here.
Philadelphia leading Buffalo 20-17 in the 4th quarter. Greg Bell, a 3-yard run for Buffalo. First running back taken in the draft. Complete to Duriel Harris, first down. And McDonald was pacing just as he let go of that football.
Nothing new for Paul, getting hit, gets rid of the ball very courageously. He's hit as he throws. That's why the ball wobbles somewhat, and Duriel Harris is playing a remarkable football game. Here's Duriel's pass pattern. He weaves outside, back inside to create some distance for himself. He doesn't come back to the ball because he knows he has to stay there to get the first down. Good play, Duriel Harris.
And give McDonald credit. He stood in there with Ken Sims bearing down on him. Raw flick. Boyce Green. Green to the 26. Check that 21-yard line. Ken Sims on the tackle. 5 minutes to play.
2 things to think about now, Todd. 5 minutes to play in the football game. You don't want to score too quickly because you know the New England Patriots have a very talented offense. On the other hand, you must continue that drive towards the goal line, and it's a very, very ambivalent position to be in.
And you don't want to turn the football over because a field goal could win it for Cleveland, and they're definitely in field goal territory. And now I don't think the crowd likes the conservative attack of San Bertigliano. Is that what the boos are about?
Well, once again, you have to remember that third down, you're in a very positive posture if you have 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, because there are a number of people that you can go to. And Sam was only trying to gain a favorable position for 3rd down by running the football just then.
3rd down, 5 yards to go. 4 minutes to play. 4:03, 4:02. And it will be 4th down at Matt Carr.
Well, it's quite obvious what Sam Bertigliano wants to do. He is going to leave the outcome of this football game in the hands of his outstanding defensive unit.
He says Matt Browns have 2 timeouts left.
I wonder, have they ever thought about putting those sort of infrared lights or something on the end of the goal post that extends straight up indefinitely, and anything that breaks the plane of that beam would automatically ignite a light to go on or something, as they do in hockey. And that would relieve or alleviate that problem right there.
30 seconds to play. 2nd and 8. The Tuco again. And again he stopped. And a flag on the play. Holding against New England. And that stops the clock, which is what Cleveland is interested in.
Holding, 61 offense, penalty refused, 3rd down.
There's number 30, Suzuku trying. There's a hold right there. Number 61, Whoop, holding Clay Matthews, number 57.
So it'll bring up 3rd down, 7 yards to go. If the Browns can hold here, they'll have another shot of getting into Matt Barr's field goal range to win it. A drop play by Eason. He doesn't make it. Fourth down.
There it is. It's a design quarterback draw play. Carl Harrison, number 78, in the middle of your screen, just grabs Tony Eason by the arm, pulls him down. The Browns are back in business.
2:08 to go. As the Browns call a timeout. Attendance today, 53,036.
About 30,000 less than what this place holds, Todd.
But the noise is still loud here at Cleveland Stadium. It's a loud 53,000.
What we
Especially
have-
when that Browns defense is out there.
What we have are two teams fighting for their lives here, particularly the Cleveland Browns, knowing that Pittsburgh is going to go down to defeat today.
2 minutes, 8 seconds to go. The clock will be stopped at the 2-minute warning, and then the Browns will have one more timeout. And Luke Prestridge is in the punt.
You're the Cleveland Browns. Whatever you do not want a personal foul here of any kind.
White Walker back to receive the kick, and it's a booming kick by Prestridge. He got the foot into that one. Ball is out of bounds between the 29 and 30-yard line. So 2 minutes to go in this ball game. 17-16, New England leads it. We're going to have a fantastic finish here, and now here comes another one of those fantastic finishes. The Browns trailed by a point, 1st and 10 from their own 30.
They have one timeout. The Browns maximum need 50 yards of offense to put themselves in a winnable field goal position. And at the least, they need 40 yards for an attempt. The 50 yards would give Matt Barr a 37-yard attempt. The 40 yards would give Matt Barr a 47-yard attempt. He's good at 37-yarders, not so good at 47-yarders.
Although Matt Barr did have a 48-yard field goal earlier today, he's got 3 field goals. Boyce Green dropped it. And I think he had some room to run had he caught it.
Well, they're in 4-down territory and time right now. That they're strictly going to win.
Well, that's what they're aiming for right there. Right between those posts. If they can get a touchdown, sure, they'll take it. But realistically, you move in for field goal position.
They're playing for a field goal all the way, Todd. big play. That's why he's in the football game for Sam Rutigliano right now.
Clock running, you see it. McDonald to Dario Harris, first down. Ball is scored. Minute 27, 26.
McDonald now showing stage that the Cardiac Kid and Brian Sight moving the chain along with the clock. He is very cool under pressure right now.
The Cardiac Kids of 1980. Out of bounds, stops the clock with a minute 11 to go. Hey, special thanks to our spotters, John Betchkel and Pete Halvin, and statistician Don Driver.
Here's the big play to Dario Harris. McDonald in the pocket, releases the ball with the good delivery. There's Dario Harris making sure of the catch. 7 receptions, 120 yards. A big day for Dario Harris.
Do you think Paul McDonald and Dario Harris worked out with each other this week in practice?
I would imagine they spent hours this week working together.
Their timing has been right on the money. 1 minute, 11 seconds to play. Brown trail by a sack. Flag on the play downfield. That was Scott Burkus coming in to make the tackle. But a flag on the play.
Wait a minute, everybody. Here's McDonald. 70. Burkus gets inside. McDonald looking downfield to throw the football. Doesn't have anyone to throw to. The reason why? Personal foul against the New England Patriots.
There will not be a charge timeout to Cleveland because of the penalty on the play. They have 1 timeout left. First down.
And Cleveland now has their only timeout left.
I'd say they got their cake in icing too, Todd.
All right, first and 10. Ball at the 35-yard line.
The Browns need about 10 more yards to be in comfortable winning position via a field goal attempt.
And the Patriots defense shut him out. We'll see. McDonald going deep to Dario Harris. Ray Claiborne, drive with Harris.
Well, apparently right now, Rutigliano is confident that they can get the additional yardage to kick a field goal. So what does he do? I'm going to go see if I can't get it all in one play right now. Dario Harris cannot get by Ray Claiborne.
But that's a bit risky, too, for Paul McDonald because Claiborne was there stride for stride.
Well,
as he would have intercepted that ball.
The one thing that you tell a Dario Harris on a play like that, Todd, is you say, listen, Dario, if you can't get this ball, you make sure that Ray Claiborne does it.
Do you think Matt Barr's got some butterflies right now?
I think Matt Barr can't wait to get another shot.
Look at him. He gets away. Ricky Feature. First down.
Ricky Feature, amazing. Separated shoulder, playing with a lot of pain. And Burks has come back here in the waiting moments of this football game, and the Browns right now are in Matt Barr territory.
And they're letting the clock run. Sam Rutigliano saying, come on, run the play.
And what did Pete Axel say about this football game?
He said, take Cleveland and 2 points.
All righty.
They're down to 5 seconds on the 30-second clock, 23 seconds on the game clock. They're just going to set it up for Matt Barr. What a day for Paul McDonald. 23 of 34, 321 yards and a touchdown.
Enough said. The guy can play in this league.
Especially if you give him time, and he had some time today.
It's interesting about the New England Patriots. They are a franchise loaded with talent. They are a franchise that has a plethora of #1 draft choices. They are also a franchise that has been knocking on the door. And they expect big things from this ball club this year. But over the years, this has been the kind of ball game that the New England Patriots traditionally have lost.
Well, the Browns are now without timeout. 23 seconds to play. And if the Browns can win it, they'll only be a game behind Pittsburgh in the AFC Central. And there's Matt Barr.
What is he thinking? Well, he's probably thinking, just another day at the office. I'm going to go home tonight and go to the restaurant with the wife, and another day at the office from that bar.
Well, he'll be able to celebrate as he gets part of the upright.
The thing to do in this kind of situation is don't think of what's happening. Only make sure that you do what you have to do to win.
First and 10 at the 21. They catch the ball, get out of bounds. Intercepted! Can you believe it? Hey, Claiborne. He might go. He will.
Unbelievable!
Touchdown for the Patriots. No, he stepped out of bounds. No, touchdown they call it. Unbelievable!
I've never seen anything like that happen to a football team in my life.
Well, it's not a touchdown. They're saying he stepped out of bounds at the 8-yard line. But that doesn't. Can't
This is
believe
an
it.
incredible play. McDonald looking for Daryl Harris, who's been beating Claiborne all day. Harris falls down. There's no one there but Ray Claiborne. Watch it. Harris is on the ground. Oh,
I can't believe it. If you're going to set up for a field goal, why not kick it? If you're going to let the time run before you call your final timeout and you're going for the field goal, why do you risk that? Well, now there's a flag on the play somewhere. Right around the 18-yard line, there was some kind of penalty. It really doesn't matter.
Ray Claiborne was all-pro 1 year ago, Todd. He did not intercept one pass. He never intercepted a pass last year, but he has 22 deflections. He is an outstanding cornerback and really a championship player, making the big play at the right time.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Patriots for celebrating. But who can blame them for celebrating? I guess only the officials. They penalized the Patriots 5 yards. Watch the celebration. It'll cost them 5 yards. But believe me, an 86-yard return by Claiborne on the interception gives the Patriots the win.
They're going to be celebrating all right, all the way back to New England. And I'll tell you what, if you're a New England Patriot fan, I'd be out en masse tonight at Logan International Airport when this ball club arrives, because they have truly taken defeat right out of the hands of the Patriot organization.